अरहंत सिद्ध सुर उपाध्याय साधु सर्व अर्थ के प्रकाशी मांगलिक उपकारी है। तीन को स्वरूप जानी रागते भई जो भक्ति काय को न माय स्तुति को उच्चारी है। धन्य धन्य तुम से काज सब आज भयो कर जोरी बारंबार वंदना हमारी है। मंगल कल्याण सुख ऐसो हम चाहते हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। हो मेरी ऐसी दशा जैसी तुम धारी है। मोक्ष मार्गस्य नेतारम भेतारम कर्म भूभृताम ज्ञातारं विश्वतत्त्वानां वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये वन्दे तद्गुणलब्धये. So, in Tattva Sutra, we are on to the last aphorism of first chapter, that is 33. The topic started with what are the tools available for knowing the 7 fundamental elements and the 3 gems or 3 jewels. Okay, that was the beginning of the first chapter. Okay, and in that we saw that the 7 viewpoints and the 7 fundamental and the 3 gems could be known, and that category were of 3 kinds. One for the people with less intellect, less interest, less time. Another one was of medium level, and other was the last one was the of with people who having lots of time and very sharp intellect, and for them it was a comprehensive kind of description. So for people with less time and less intellect, Praman and Nai. Praman means valid comprehensive knowledge and Nai means viewpoint. These were the options through which we can realize ourselves, we can understand the 7 fundamentals, we can manifest the 3 gems, and our purpose of getting into the path of liberation is served. Okay, so that was the tools that we were discussing, and under that Praman and Nai, we had a long discussions about the Praman, the valid knowledge. There were 5 types of valid knowledge: sensory knowledge, scriptural knowledge, clairvoyance, telepathic, and omniscience. All these are valid comprehensive knowledge. And under Matigyan, we saw that Avgraha, Iha, sensation, curiosity, Avai, judgment, then Dharana, retention. And then further moving ahead, it was memory, smriti, pratyabhigyan, connecting knowledge or recognition. Then tark, tark was logic. Tark was not the logical word. 1 minute. They use pervading knowledge. 1 minute. So here we saw reflection. It was reflection or inference, sorry, pervasion based logic or reasoning. Okay, so logic was correct, tark. So that was that, and the last one was anuman, inference. It is, these were the 4 divisions, and after inference you are able to jump to self-realization. So this is the process of the sensory knowledge that we discussed at large. Then discussing this sensory knowledge, next was the scriptural knowledge. Okay, Dvat Shang, out of which 11 angs are lost. What we have is very little, and that too is very large. Okay, so from scriptural knowledge to we move to clairvoyance, clairvoyance to telepathic, telepathic to omniscience knowledge. This is our journey of Praman Gyan. Okay, Praman Gyan means valid knowledge. Now, the other part, viewpoints, that was left, and that is being discussed here in the aphorism number 33. Okay, so we don't have much description here. I didn't realize it earlier, but day before yesterday, I realized that, and I have put a query to the translation team why this is not included. See the next page. The one you were looking at right now. What is the next page? Not this one. The textbook itself. Yeah. What is the next page? Here. So here it ends. But actually it is there 30 pages. 30 pages. So that was also missing. And this fifth chapter was also missing, where we are going to discuss only 8 aphorism. So that I already shared in the group. That they also did on my request later on. But this somehow I missed and they also missed. So now they will be doing it. But I have found out another book on English, which is of course very good. And it has gone, if it is given in short, the exact meaning what we want to convey. So first we will refer to that, and then the Hindi chart. This Hindi chart belongs to that white book, Tatvar Sutra in charts and tables. And that has also been translated into English from Chennai. Dr. Priya Darshana Jain. She has done the translation along with one of other my student, Sunita. So they both have done this. And I have called for the physical book because they said that they are not having PDF. They will be, of course, launching it in Amazon very soon. But I have called for 7 books physically, and I'm going to query you once I receive it. And that will be just a reference kind of book for us to know the things at a glance. Now, in the syllabus, our syllabus is referring to only the aphorisms. So if you see the aphorism number 33, Nagam Sangra Vyavhar Ruju Sutra Shabda Sambirud Evam Bhuta Nayaha. That is only the names have been given of viewpoints. Okay. So only description, short description would do, and that is being justified from the English that we have. So we will referring to it. In meantime, if I get the translation of those 30 pages also, I'll be sharing in the group, but for our purpose, this is enough. Now, in these 7 viewpoints, of course, there are viewpoints, different categories of viewpoint that we are going to study in the 7th sem. But right now, I would just give you a brief description that one which is very popular and which serves our purpose is real point of view and conventional point of view. Okay. For knowing the soul, this is enough. But for knowing the 6 substances and to run the worldly life, these are also required. So there is another pair of Nyay called Dravyarthik Nyay, Paryarthik Nyay. Dravyarthik Nyay is a substance related viewpoint, and Paryarthik Nyay is mode related viewpoint. So these are 2 broad divisions, and among these 2 broad divisions, the earlier slide, the chart in Hindi, can you refer? Out of these 7, they have categorized, see, first 3 are under Dravyarthik Nyay. Okay, you can see the first heading Dravyarthik, and under that, Jo Dravya ko Grahan Kare, which focuses on only on the substance part. The whole substance part consists of substance, attributes, and modification, right? Now, this Dravyarthik part focuses only on the substance part, and the Paryarthik Nyay only focuses on the modification part. So out of these 7, first 3 comes under substance related viewpoint, Dravyarthik Nyay, and the other 4 are into Paryarthik related viewpoint. So our purpose is solved here for knowing the 6 substances, and out of these 6 substances, soul is also one substance. So indirectly we can also ascertain our soul through this, but it would be a long and complicated process. So in the spiritual scriptures, we only use Nischay and Vyavhar. Whole Samaysar is dedicated to real point of view and conventional point of view, and that we discussed very clearly when we studied Nischay Nahi and Vyavhar Nahi. Through that chart, 8 Nahis, 4 conventional viewpoint, 4 real viewpoint, and in that the king of all Nahi was supreme real point of view, number 8. Everyone remembers this or everyone has forgotten? Recently in happiness course also third chapter was that, and it's also going to come next week. Today is the second chapter about 4 exposition. Next week it will be only the Nahi, 8 Nayas. So that solves our purpose, real point of view and conventional point of view as far as soul is concerned. And we are only interested in knowing the soul because there are geographically many things in this universe existing in the universe. We don't have time to know everything, and it's not going to solve our purpose of being manifesting happiness in all situations. So those are not that important. But since this is a course designed to make you a scholar, right? So for a scholar you need to have arguments with other faiths, so all these are also required. But if your purpose is only to know your soul and you don't have any other purpose, then only that much is required, right? But since this is a 5 years course, it's running parallel with the Shastri course that runs in Jaipur. It's a live course, and students who are passed out from class 10, they go and join there at 15 years age. My son went to Jaipur to study this. He was 15-year-old only, right? So they study and their grasping power is good and they are a whole time into these studies. So they have class every day. We have class 2 hours a week. So for us, it becomes difficult to learn so many things in such a short time. So we are not able to do justice to each and every topic. The kind of that we should require, that time is not there. Okay. But still it is exhaustive and we are trying to do it. But having said that, the ultimate purpose is how you can know few things and get started in manifesting happiness. And for that, I designed this happiness course, and it has come up very good and I've got very good response, and I'm running it now in Gujarati and English simultaneously. And the other group that was in Hindi first initially, so they don't want to leave the group. So we are continuing with Sem5 over there, which is every Sunday, the same time, 8:30 to 9:30. Okay. So all 3 courses simultaneously have started. Only 1 classes of each 3 has happened so far. And those who are in those group, I have shared the recordings. So that one is going on. So, but here we have to consider what's there in the syllabus. So this 33 number aphorism, we are referring it from here, the English textbook, but now just have a glance. Negam nahi. Of course, you will not be knowing the uh, Hindi meaning, but I will explain you in English. Okay. Dravyarthik is substance related viewpoint. Okay. These are the categories of divisions: Bhed, then Swarup, their description, nature, and then the example. Okay. Negam. Negam is the one viewpoint which only focuses on the sankalp. Sankalp means purpose based. Purpose based. Okay. So this is called purpose based viewpoint. Okay. A person, uh, Indhan or Jal. Indhan means the branches that are cut from a tree for lighting up the fire, to cook the food. In earlier days, there were no gases, kitchen, and all this. So people were very simple. They used to reside in the countryside near the jungles, and there were so many greenery and trees over there. So their job would be to go to the forest, cut the trees, branches, bring it, light it up, and cook the food. Okay. So a person was going to fetch the woods and the water from the well. Everything was so natural. Water used to come from the well, and these woods were procured from the trees of the forest. Okay. So ईंधन और जल आदि के लाने में लगे हुए पुरुष का कहना कि मैं भात पका रहा हूं. So the other guy asked, what you are doing? So I am cooking cooking the rice. What he answered? I am cooking the rice. So far, he is just going to procure the woods and the water, and then he will put the rice into it, and then it will light up the fire, and then the rice will be cooked. Okay, but his intention. So this particular viewpoint, purpose-based viewpoint, only catches the purpose. Okay, and it says that, like, I am cooking food. So far nothing is ready. The woods will be have to be bought, then it has to be light up, and then the water from the well has to be fetched, and then it has to keep on the fire to heat it up, and then rice would be cooked. But it says that I am doing this. Why? Because his intention. Okay, so his purpose was that. So this is called purpose based viewpoint, first one. Okay, now the relationship between these 7 nayas is that first, when you move from first to second, it becomes subtle. Second to third, again subtle. Third to fourth, again subtle. It goes on, goes and goes on. Okay, so this is how it is structured, you know. So second is संग्रहण. What this does do? जाति के विरोध बिना समस्त पदार्थों को इकट्ठा ग्रहण करना. Okay, so we are all humans. So this is a bracket, human. Now if I divide these humans into different kinds of, you know, Jains, non-Jains, Vaishnav, Vedant, Christian, you know, different kinds of, then it becomes the third one, Vyavharne. If it is consolidated one, it is Sangrane. Okay, and when we divide it into subdivisions, divisions and subdivisions, it becomes Vyavharne. So this is not the same conventional viewpoint that we study along with real viewpoint. This has got combination with Sangra. Sangra means to consolidate. Okay, and Vyavhar means to divide. So they are two different opposites complementing each other. When you go on divide an indivisible thing, okay, you go on getting divided up to the last point. When there is no further division possible, you start consolidating and you come back to the starting point. Again you do that practice, division and subdivision. Again you reach a saturated point. Now no further divisions are possible. You again start consolidating. In this way, if the exercise is done, then our knowledge gets trained and sharper. Okay, our knowledge gets trained and sharper. Okay, so this is संग्रह नहीं. जाति के विरोध बिना समस्त पदार्थों को इकट्ठा ग्रहण करना. We are all Jains. This is संग्रह नहीं. But again Jain, someone are Setambar, someone are Digambar. In Digambar also, some is Terapanthi, some is Bispanthi. In Svetambar also, some is Thanakvasi, some is Deravasi. Right? So there are divisions and subdivisions and going on. Okay, so all these will form a part of number 3, that is Vyavhar Nay. Okay, so again English name is conventional viewpoint only, but I am not satisfied with that. It is called analytical viewpoint. So I have found good names also that we'll be discussing also. Okay, so all these 3, the focus was only the substance part. Okay, now the other 4, their focus is the modification part. Okay, the first one is Riju Shutranai. Riju Shutranai, English name is viewpoint of momentariness. Okay, since because they are only focusing on the modification part and modifications are momentary, so this is called Ruju Sutra Nai is called viewpoint of momentariness. It is also called straight viewpoint. Very simple. Okay, because it only focuses on the present modification, not on the past, not on the future, only the present modification. Vartman paryay matra ka grahan. Okay, so this is Riju Sutra Nai, viewpoint of momentariness. We will be discussing in detail in the English version. Now the fourth and now the fifth one, Shabda Nai. Ling Adi. Ling means gender. Okay, gender then numbers, संख्या आदि के भेद से पदार्थ का भेद रूप ग्रहण. Okay, so this particular शब्द नय doesn't accept the blemishes of gender and numbers and all, and consider or focuses on the meaning only. Okay, meaning only. Like example, Darya, Dar, Bharya, Kalatra. All these three words are used for women. in भिन्न लिंग वाले शब्दों, but all three are different genders. Okay, male gender, female gender, and we have neutral gender. Okay, so three genders, so three meanings would be there. Okay, so shabd nahi only refers to its meaning. Okay, and not the in the literal sense. Sambirud nahi accepts the words in the literal sense only. Okay, Sambirud nahi says that there cannot be any synonymous. Each word has got its different meaning. Each word means one meaning. Shabd says no, they are all synonymous. They all mean the same thing. But Sambirud doesn't recognize the synonymous word. It says that each word has got something to express which is different from others. Okay, as we saw in this example of Dar, Bharya, Kalatra. So there is different genders, although it implies the woman only, but the genders are different. Okay, so Sambirud nahi पर्यायवाची शब्दों से भेद कर पदार्थ का ग्रहण. So Sambirud says there is no synonymous. Each word has got different meaning. Okay. गो शब्द से वचन आदि अनेक अर्थ भेद पाए जाने पर भी पशु अर्थ में रूढ़ होना. Okay, so pashu means animals, a general category, and then cow is different, buffalo is different, lion is different. Okay, so general term shabdanai will say pashu, but Sambirud nahi, that each has got different meaning. Coming on to the last one, एवं भूत नय, उस क्रिया रूप परिणित पदार्थ का ग्रहण. When a person is involved in that particular activity at that point of time, he is called to be that one. Okay, जब गमन करती हो तभी गाय है, बैठी हुई या सोती हुई गाय नहीं है. Okay, when the cow is walking, then only is referred to as cow. When he is still stationary or sleeping, then it is not considered cow. Okay, so these are all viewpoints. They try to focus on a particular aspect. Okay, now very good introduction we will see about the viewpoints. I think he has clarified it very nicely. We'll see from the English. The logical process of ascertaining reality. Again, viewpoints are used to know the reality, 7 fundamental elements and 3 gems only. We were considering 2 tools. One was valid knowledge, praman, other was nai, viewpoints. So we had a detailed discussion about valid knowledge. Now we are discussing the viewpoint. The logical process of ascertaining reality consists of the following viewpoints. Okay, the 7 names are there. Hindi names are in the bracket and the English names. Okay, we will see one by one, so I'm not repeating those names. The scheme of viewpoints is the analytical method of acquiring and ascertaining knowledge. This is very good. The scheme of viewpoints, NAI. What the NAI does, it presents us an analytical method, analyzing things. Only you know the things in actual nature when you analyze, when you contemplate on it. Otherwise, we don't know. Although we have heard the words, but what it means really is something that only we come to that only when we ponder over it over a period of time. Okay, so this is applying viewpoints is an analytical method of acquiring and asserting knowledge. Knowledge about what? the 7 fundamentals and the 3 jewels. Okay, acquiring and asserting knowledge. So this is a good way of coming to a conclusion. You analyze, you contemplate, and automatically the decision emerges. Okay, you are sure that this is like this only. Okay, a particular viewpoint is called nai in Sanskrit. Okay, nai means drashtikon, viewpoint. Okay, particular viewpoint. It does not rule out other points. This is also very important. It does not rule out. Only thing is that it highlights one part. Okay, and it ignores other part. It does not rule out other viewpoints. दूसरे पक्षों का अभाव नहीं है. Only gone, secondary. We are making it secondary, and primary is that particular part which we are focusing on. A particular stance describes a particular truth and not the whole truth. If you are looking at one part, you are only knowing the partial truth and not the whole truth, right? So a particular, I have given you an example many times, that an auditorium, a person enters with a video camera, he sees at a glance, that is valid knowledge. Then he focuses the camera on the speaker, it is nai. Then it focuses on the audience, again it is nai. So nai, what nai sees is a partial truth and not the whole truth. Whole truth is seen by the valid comprehensive knowledge. It is right from its own point of view, but it becomes wrong when it rejects other points of view. Okay, so a particular, it is right from its own viewpoint. From that viewpoint it is right, but it becomes wrong when it rejects the other viewpoint. Because why you are rejecting other viewpoint? Other viewpoints are also right from but that perspective. Okay, so we have to see things from one perspective. Very simple example I will give you. 3 children, one is 5 years, one is say 8 years, another is 12 years. Okay, 3 children. So now you refer to the middle one, the 8-year-old. Okay, and you say that he is the senior most. He is senior, just only, not senior most, he is senior. Okay, and after a few minutes you say that he is the junior. So then natural question comes whether it is senior or junior. Okay, so then he says, let me complete the sentence. He is senior compared to the 5-year-old. He is junior compared to the 12-year-old. So now it is justified, right? So viewpoints are like this. It is like this from that particular viewpoint. It is like this from that particular point. So that logic is only valid when you consider that viewpoint. Okay, so every viewpoint is like that. It is right from its own point of view, but it becomes wrong when it rejects the other point of view. It is also senior from the junior, from a 5-year-old perspective, it is senior. From a 12-year-old perspective, it is junior. So you cannot reject any of these. Okay, it is right from this viewpoint, but you cannot reject the other point of view because that is also right from that viewpoint, right? So I think now you have very clear-cut understanding that how viewpoint functions. If we organize all viewpoints, okay, if we organize all viewpoints so that they supplement each other, right? Because each is right from its perspective, so they supplement each other, then we can arrive at the whole truth. Okay, or the precise and consonant view in its entirety. This is the use of viewpoints. Viewpoints help us to focus on one part. You know that part very clearly from that perspective. Then you know the other part. Then you know the other part. When you sum up all these viewpoints, you get the whole truth. Okay. So a soul, take the example of soul. So soul has substance, soul has attribute, soul has got modification. Okay. So from the substance related viewpoint, you acquire knowledge about the substance part. From the modification related viewpoint, you acquire the knowledge about the modification part. Now you know the whole truth. When you apply both the viewpoints, when you understand both the viewpoints, you know the whole truth. That it is unchangeable from the substance point of view. It is changing every moment from the modification point of view. There is no contradiction, right? So viewpoint helps us in removing this contradiction and establishing the truth, whole truth as it is. Now we will consider the 7 viewpoints. One you will read one each. Amita ji.
1. Purpose figurative based viewpoint Nagamne. In this viewpoint, the purpose of the activity is taken to represent the entire activity. For example, when a person who is carrying golf clubs is questioned, "What are you doing?" he answers, "I'm playing golf." In another instance, when we ask a person carrying groceries to the kitchen, "What are you doing?" he may reply, "I'm cooking meals." The person carrying golf clubs is not actually playing golf, but he is involved in an activity whose ultimate goal is playing golf. Similarly, the person carrying groceries is actually not cooking, but carrying groceries is part of the series of activities that lead to cooking. This is purpose-based viewpoint.
Top. So you understood this
Thank you,
meaning?
Emily.
Yeah. Do you understand the meaning? We already read from the Hindi one also. So this viewpoint only focuses on the purpose, and based on that, it says things. Okay. So I think this is clear now, right? The second one, class-based, Sangra. Okay. Digambar, general class category. You divide Digambar into Svetambar, Digambar and all. Uh, okay, Digambar also. There is Terapanthi, Bispanthi, all. So that becomes the third point, conventional view. So now we consider only the second one. Okay. So Chia, you read the second one.
Class-based viewpoint, Samgrahanay. In this viewpoint, several things which are essentially similar and which are compatible with one another are considered together. Thus, class-based viewpoint considers an entire class or group. For example, the word citizen is used for all men and women living in a country without any regard to their gender, color, ethnicity, employment, etc. Similarly, the word entity refers to living as well as non-living entities. Such descriptions are objects of class-based viewpoint.
Okay. So it just focuses on a particular class. The other name of class-based viewpoint is synthetic. So his job is to synthesize, you know, putting all things at one place, in one group. That is why it is called synthetic viewpoint also. Okay. So as I said, you first you consider one class and you then go on dividing. When you go on dividing, it becomes conventional viewpoint or analytical viewpoint. Okay, व्यवहार नहीं. And when you consolidate, it becomes the synthetic viewpoint or class based viewpoint. Okay, so both complement each other, and by doing this exercise your knowledge gets upgraded. So it is able to know the things as they are. Okay, your knowledge becomes sharper. Now the third point, conventional viewpoint. Uh, Soumya.
Conventional viewpoint, व्यवहार नय. This viewpoint examines a certain object or situation based on conventional popular ideas. In the above example, classifying the citizens such as doctors, lawyers, businessmen, engineers, and teachers separately is the object of conventional viewpoint. In the case of entities, the conventional viewpoint may consider living and non-living entities separately.
So clear? Okay. So this is also called analytical. So when you go on dividing and subdividing, this becomes conventional viewpoint. So all these three were part of substance related viewpoint. Now the next four only focuses on the modification part. Paryarthik nahi ke bhed hai. Okay. So all these four are part of mode related viewpoint. Okay. So this is not mentioned here in this particular book, but in the other one that we saw, that was there. Okay. So now the fourth one is Ruju Sutra. It is also called straight viewpoint. Straight viewpoint means simple viewpoint, not complex. Okay, simple. It only focuses on the present modification only. Okay, it ignores the past and the future, only the present. The fourth one, Hemali.
Viewpoint of momentariness, which is a straight न्याय or रुजु सूत्र न्याय.
Ruju Sutra.
रुजु सूत्र न्याय. This viewpoint focuses only on the present state or form of the object. All things in the universe undergo transformation continuously. The first three viewpoints do not focus on these transformations. However, the viewpoint of momentariness recognizes the fact that transformations occur in the object, but it considers only the state of the object that occurs at the present time. For example, a gold coin was turned into a ring from which a necklace can be made later. The viewpoint of momentariness will consider the present mode only, that is, of the ring.
So you read now the state of the object that exist in the at the present time. Okay, ठीक. So now you can make out that this. So if you see the subject, the first name was only focusing on the purpose-based intention. Only nothing has happened, but it only the idea. The idea is to come to cook the food. So he said, "I'm cooking the food." Okay. Then the second one that was a class-based viewpoint. So we are moving from first to second. It becomes more subtle. Then third becomes divisions and subdivisions, so more subtle. Now the fourth is only focusing on the transformations, and that also the present transformations. Okay. Now the fifth one, viewpoint of terminology, the words, it is also called a descriptive viewpoint. Madhuji, you read.
Yes, descriptive viewpoint or viewpoint of terminology. Shabdanay. This viewpoint differentiates between terms and names on the basis of their meanings. The words Indra, Shakra, and Purandra, which are used to describe the Lord of heavenly beings, present an example of the viewpoint of terminology.
So this fifth one, Shabdanay, or the descriptive viewpoint of terminology, it differentiates between terms and names on the basis of their meaning. So it catches the meaning. Okay, it says that three words, now Indra, Shakra, and Purendra, these three words are synonymous. Okay, Indra is the lord of heavenly beings, Shakra is also lord of the heavenly beings, and Purendra is also lord of living beings. Okay, but there is subtle difference between the three words. But Shabdanai will say they are all synonymous, and I will take the meaning of all these three, and that is the Lord of heavenly beings. Okay. But Sambirudnai will say that Indra is someone. I will just tell you. I'll tell you in Hindi first, okay, and then in English. Yes. इंद्र शब्द ऐश्वर्य, शक्र शब्द सामर्थ्य एवं पुरंदर शब्द पूर को भेदन करने की क्रिया. पूर मीन्स विलेज, नगर, नगर. ओके, पूर मीन्स सिटर. नगर को भेदने की क्रिया की ओर संकेत करता है. सो ऐश्वर्यवान इंद्र. ओके, सो all three refers to the Lord of heavenly beings. But when we say Indra, it means Aishwaryavan. Aishwaryavan with what is the Hindi meaning? I think
Wealthy.
wealthy or some other qualities. Glamour also associated with that, right? So it describes something which also refers to that. It means the Lord of heavenly beings. Okay. Then Shakra means Samarthya. So Samarthya means power. He's so powerful because since he is the Lord of heavenly beings, of course he is powerful also. Okay. And the third meaning was Purandar. Purandar means uh, Purandar means lord or lord of that city, or what you call that place, city or village. पूर को भेदन करने की क्रिया, नगर को भेदन करने की क्रिया और संकेत करता है. So he is lord of that city. Okay. So Shabdanai would say it means only lord of heavenly beings. But the Sambirudnai will say that each has got different meanings. Okay. They, each word is never synonymous. Each word has it's got its different meaning. Okay. So as the name applies, the viewpoint examines the examines and differentiates the various terms based on their roots. Okay. In the above example of the Lord of heavenly beings, the viewpoint of derivatives distinguishes between the meaning of Indra, Shakra, and Purandra. So Indra means prosperous. So it is more or less similar to wealthy, right? Shakra means powerful, and Purandara means annihilator of enemies. Okay. So you see the difference between the, so this one has become more subtle than the Shabdanai, because Shabdanai was taking the general meaning. Okay. And here it says that no, each synonymous would have different meaning to express. Okay. So this is Sambirudnai. And the last one, Evam Bhutnai, again it only takes the present moment only. So when a cow is walking, then only is called cow. But when the same cow is sleeping or sitting, he is not considered the cow. Okay. So that is the last one that we are going to read. Yeah, viewpoint of manifestation. Okay. So Rekha, you read. See, Payal stopped attending class. Now she has dropped out. You are also not attending classes regularly. So chances are that when you see, there is an atmosphere being created here when you are present live in the class. And when you are live in the class, you are not attending any other calls, you are not attending anything. So you are focused. So the level of grasping would be greater when you attend live. Okay. Okay,
Yes,
you can
sir.
always catch up on recording. And I know at times we have our majburi also, we can't avoid certain things at our level. That also I am aware. But try to be sincere in the class, then that will help you only. Okay. It is
Sure,
only
sir.
2 hours a day. We can plan out our schedules, according to that. But in exceptional case, of course, there would be everyone will be absent sometime the other time. No problem.
Yes. Viewpoint of manifestation. Evam Bhutnai. Based on this viewpoint, a person or an object is considered to be what the name implies. That is, the term implies only when it is functioning according to the exact meaning of the term. Thus, the Lord of heavenly being is called Purandra only when he is annihilating his enemies, and a doctor is called a surgeon only when he is operating on a patient. Of this, the seven
Yeah.
viewpoints are employed to gradually and systematically obtain detailed information on the object under the examination. The first four are called import related earth viewpoints because they deal with the objects of knowledge. While the last three word related Shabda viewpoints because they pertain to terms and their meanings. The seven viewpoints are also grouped in a different manner. The first three are entity based. Thank you. The first three are entity based, Dravyarthik viewpoint, as they focus on the substantive aspect, while the last four are transformation based, Pariyarthik viewpoints, because they deal with modification. End note. The above discussion shows that the Jain scriptures present a comprehensive and sophisticated view of the nature of reality and a logical way to comprehend it. Scientists perform experiments and collect data on various natural phenomena. Though impartial logical thinking, they endeavor to unravel the secrets of nature and explain the experimental observations. Similarly, those who are in pursuit of
spiritual experience, study the scriptures, attend discourses, contemplate upon the self and the environment, and make an effort to gain insight into aspects of reality through logical thinking. In this manner, they develop rational perception, belief in the aspect of reality. Aphorism 1 to 1 to 3 and 1 to 6. In this chapter, Acharya Umaswati has also presented an introduction to the aspects of reality and a highly perspective classification and discussion of the knowledge. The process of ascertaining the nature of reality is detailed, elaborate, and thoroughly logical.
So you see, all these 7 viewpoints are being used to know the 7 fundamental elements and the 3 gems. Okay. So this is another way, this is also a way of knowing things. So we have only got 2 tools, Praman and viewpoint. Either we are applying Praman, so we are seeing overall things at one moment, nothing is being ignored or secondary, everything is primary. And when we apply viewpoints, one thing is primary, other aspects are secondary. Okay. So in this way, by knowing the partial truth at a time, we know the whole truth. Okay. This is way of knowing things. And this is what is sufficient for us to know our soul. So this is only the adapted means of knowing the reality. Okay. So now we will move on to the 5th chapter. Okay.
Sir, can I interrupt?
Yeah.
There was someone with the alphabet A who wanted to re-enter our group. So I don't know who it is. I read it somewhere. I'm not very sure. Was it in the students group or something? Matlab, we have a group, students group, our own same class.
Acha.
I think I saw it there. I'm not very sure. If we check the previous classes now, group, maybe we will come to know who it is.
Okay, you give me the number, I can check.
Okay, I'll see once again, sir.
You send me the number. We can also call up and ask what.
Okay.
And if you want to enter, allow it. No, what's the problem?
AJ. I don't know.
AJ,
Is it Arunji? Earlier he was there.
Arun Jain. Yeah, I know.
It could be. I'm not very sure of the number.
So he was not very regular. He tried to start doing it, but he was always not regular. So, okay, no problem. You can join him also. He will listen to few things.
Acha, this is the number, is it?
Yeah, this is the number. He's saying that I had stopped the classes, want to restart.
Yeah.
So also join him in the happiness group.
The batch ID.
Happiness group is good for him because he is not able to continue. He has joined 3-4 times and dropped out. Every time he joins and then drops out. I also talked to him personally also and advised him certain things that why this is happening, what's going on in his life. We had a very detailed discussion, but then he doesn't follow up. So I also left it. I think he is based in Delhi. Anyway, leave it. If he wants to join, let him join. Otherwise, okay.
There's some problem in joining, he was telling. I'm not very sure. A few days back I read it.
Okay, no problem. I'll get in touch with him and join him in the happiness group.
I sent him the batch ID. I'd asked for it. I texted him. So I've helped him up with the problem. Yeah.
What, Jia, you are telling about?
I was saying that the batch ID thing that he had asked for, I've helped him out with it. So he has all the details.
Okay. No problem. So now we move on to the 5th chapter. There are only 8 aphorisms that we are going to consider over there. Last week I said 9 aphorisms, but it is actually 8. Okay. Not this one, another I shared in the group. Page number 205.
So you WhatsApped it, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I downloaded everything.
Let me see. I'll send it again.
So once again, I'll check. Maybe you sent it.
Around 25 pages were there. Yeah, 25 pages. I shared it on Thursday.
Yeah, yes. Sir.
So from here, you just write down the aphorism number 21, 29, 30, 31, 32, 38, 40 is cancelled, 41, 42. Okay. So 8 aphorisms only. We start with 21. Very famous one. It is very popular because it has been misinterpreted. You know, Paraspar Graho Jivanam. Okay. So the word here used is upkar. Okay. And the meaning of the word upkar is here means nimit, instrumental cause. But people interpreted in a wrong way and then they got the wrong meaning. They mean that upkar means you have to help each other. Okay. But one substance cannot do anything of the other substance, right? So how we can help each other? And that took a different turn. And for that, there is an organization, very big organization among the Jains, Jito, has been formed just with this motive that let help each other. Okay. So anyway, whatever they are doing, let them do, but we will understand the meaning in the right sense. Okay. So in all the 6 aphorisms, only we have one in syllabus, but we will read all the 6 because everywhere this instrumental cause word is used, that is the right sense of the word upkar. Upkar doesn't means uh, assistance or benefit to anybody like that. Okay. So we will see the word upkar here. Okay. Who is left of reading? Maltiji, you read. Start.
Okay, sir. But this print is very, very small.
Enlarge it.
Yeah, I've done. Yeah. The
We can
assistance,
also do at our end, right?
yeah. The assistance, upkar of dharam dravya, is said to be instrumental cause, that is the nimit, in the movement of living beings and pudgal that move by themselves. And the assistance of adharam dravya is to be the instrumental cause, that is the nimit, in their remaining at rest, that is in staying still after the movement. Providing space, granting accommodation, and being the instrumental cause, nimit, for the spatial occupation, that is avaga, of all substances is the assistance of space, akash. Thanks. Being the instrumental cause for body, speech, mind, and inhalation, exhalation is the assistance of matter substances, that is the pudgal, towards jeev. Likewise, being the instrumental cause, the nimit for pleasure and pain, and for life and death is also the assistance of matter substances towards jeeves. Being mutually instrumental causes, nimit, in world favorability and unfavorability, this is the mutual assistance of jeev towards one another. Being the instrumental cause, the nimit for continuity, transformation, activity, priority, and posterity is the assistance of the substance of kal dravya towards all substances. Although in common usage, the word assistance, that's the upkar, is understood as doing good, here it does not mean beneficence, because even causing pain along with pleasure and death along with life are included as upkar in this doctrinal context. While enumerating the assistance upkar rendered by Pudgal to Jeev, the original sutra states in extremely explicit terms that body, speech, mind, and inhalation exhalation are the assistants of Pudgal Drav. Along with these, pleasure and pain and life and death are also stated to be assistants of Pudgal to Jeev. Now, you yourself may say, how can the giving of pain and the causing of death be regarded as beneficence? The body is material, Podgalika. The association.
Stop. 1 minute. So just we don't get wrong meaning. Now here the meaning of the word upkar, because of that this problem is coming up. What they interpreted upkar as assistance. So when you say assistance, then that assistance could be for benefit only. But here it says that along with this pleasure and pain, life and death. Okay. There also this word is used. So that means its meaning is nimit. Okay. Only nimit. Instrumental cause. Nothing else. So wherever this word was used, upkar, we should mean as nimit. Okay. So nimit could be both ways. It could be nimit could be for benefit also. Nimit could be or for harm also. Okay. So then there is no problem if we consider. Now, I would say Sata Vedniya Karma. Okay. So Sata Vedniya Karma brings good associations. Asata Vedniya Karma brings um, unfavorable associations. Okay. So associations are associations and they act as an instrumental cause. Okay. So if we understand the word of meaning upkar as instrumental cause, then everything gets justified. Okay. So uh, so here the word upkar means instrumental cause and not assistance. If we change that much only, then if you read, everything will be clear. Okay. So, but let's see the argument. Dr. Barilji has given very good logics behind accepting it as an instrumental cause and not as an assistance, which the people by and large are understanding that way. And that's why a person can help another person. The 21 being mutually instrumental cause is in worldly favorability and unfavorability. The second last one. If you want to, you can put names here, numbers here. So first meaning is 17. The second para is 18. The third is 19. Fourth is 20. And fifth is 21. So being mutually instrumental causes nimit in worldly favorability and unfavorability. This is the mutual assistances of jiva towards another. Okay. So it's instrumental cause only. Okay. And not we can help each other, right? So that's the meaning. Now you carry on, Maltiji.
Himali, you'll have to lift it up. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Now, you yourself may say, how can the giving of pain and the causing of death be regarded as beneficence? The body is material. The association of the body and the soul is the assistance of matter to the jiv. Yet, the body is prison for us, a bondage. The karmana body is bondage indeed, and even the Odharika and other bodies are nothing but bondage. It has also been said it has also been said, Pap mulher doi payane. No, I don't think. Sin and merit both together have placed shackles upon my feet, casting me into the prison of the body. They have inflicted upon me a heavy burden of suffering. Here it is stated that the association with unfavorable body and speech obtained through the rise of demerit, that is pap, and the association with favorable body and speech obtained through the rise of merit are both shackles. The body itself is a prison. All these are described as the assistance, that's upkar, of Pudgal Dravya to the Jeev, where in all this is beneficence alone to be found. Here, both beneficence and harm are included under the assistance rendered by matter to the soul. O brother, reflect seriously. Is bodily bondage an assistance or a harm? You may say that this human body is indeed an assistance. But, brother, the bodies of hell beings, Narki, and subhumans, Triansh, are also bodies. The body of a Nigod being is also a body. Here, the bodies of all are described as the Pudgal Drav to the Jeev. O brother, by the word upkar stated here, all bodies, good and bad alike, are being described as upkari. Here, within upkar, apkar, that is harm, is also included along with benefit. While explaining these very aphorisms, the vernacular commentator of Samaysar and other texts, Pandit Jayachandji Chabra, interprets the word upkar in the Sarvat Siddhi Vachnika as follows. The word upkar should not be understood as doing good rather than that which becomes a nimit, instrumental cause for some activity, is called upkari. Pandit Kailas Chandji explains the meaning of upkar in this manner. Here, upkar should not be taken as merely beneficence, rather, assisting in any activity is upkar. Ramji Bhai explains the meaning of upkar as follows. The word upkar or upagrah does not mean doing good to someone. It should be understood only as being a nimit, that is, instrumental cause. Otherwise, it would not be possible to say that suffering and death are the upkars of Pudgal for Jeev. Although almost everyone has accepted that here the word upkar means nothing more than being a nimit, instrumental cause, the examples given for the sake of explanation are all examples of beneficence alone. As a result, the pre existing notion of upkar as something involving only goodness continues to be reinforced in people's understanding. In reality, the matter is this: just as there are president, vice president, speaker, deputy speaker, chairperson, vice chairperson, minister, deputy minister, in the same way there are karaka, that is the principal causal agent, and upkaraka, that is subsidiary causal factor. The prefix up is used in the sense of proximity. For example, there is a city and a suburb. That which is situated near the city is called a suburb. Jaipur is a city and Bapunagar is its suburb. In the same manner, for every action, the material cause, the upadan, is the karaka, primary causal agent, and the instrumental cause, that is nimit, is the upkaraka, subsidiary causal factor. Whether an action is good or bad, favorable or unfavorable to oneself, we ourselves are the karaka, the doer of that action, and some external substance, pardrav, is necessarily the upkaraka, that is the nimit. The purport in this is every substance is itself the karaka of the actions occurring within it, and some external substances become its upkaraka only in the form of a nimit. The meaning of upkaraka is not one who does good, but rather a secondary, that is the gone instrumental causal factor. Bhaiya Bhagavati Das ji writes, Upadan nij guna jaha taha nimit para hoy. Where the upadan, the material cause, is one's own inherent quality, then the nimit is an external substance. The own substance, swadrav, as the material cause, upadan, of every effect, that is karya, is the real agent, doer and instrument, and the other substance as the auxiliary cause, that is the nimit, is a supportive factor, upkarka, a figurative factor, upchar karka, a conventional factor, vyavhar karka, merely a nominal factor, kathan karka. In this way, all the auxiliary or assisting factors, upkarka, upkar, mentioned here do not necessarily mean benefit alone. They may also signify harm. This point must be noted carefully. By providing space to all substances, what benefit has the Akash Dravya done to anyone? By becoming the nimit for the movement of self-moving living beings and matter, what benefit has the Dharm Dravya done? And by becoming the nimit for the state of rest of moving living beings and matter, what benefit has the Adharm Dravya done? Oh, brother, this is merely the intrinsic nature, swabhav, of those substances. In the same way, all substances are themselves transformative. Transformation is in their intrinsic nature. By becoming a nimit in that transformation, what good has the Kal Dravya done? For whatever good or bad occurs, in all cases, Kal is merely a nimit. Likewise, not only for dwelling in heaven, but also for dwelling in hell, the Akash Dravya is a nimit, upkarak. Not only for attaining liberation, but also for going to hell, Dharam Dravya is nimit, that is the upkarka. Thus, it is ascertained that living Jiva and Pudgal, by virtue of their own model capacity, Paryayogata, Yogyata, whether in hell, heaven, Nigod, or liberation elsewhere, will necessarily have the Dharam Dravya as the nimit for going, the Akash Dravya as the nimit for dwelling, the Adharam Dravya as the nimit for remaining at rest, following motion, and the Kal Dravya as the nimit for transformation. It is precisely that these aphorisms call their upkar assistants. In the same way, whether living beings mutually cooperate with one another or fight and kill one another, these aphorisms will designate both as upkar. Understand that everything is included within this. Without proper understanding, we have made this our slogan. Almost everyone speaks in this manner, as if the aphorism Parasparo Graho Jivanam were issuing a command that we must be useful to one another. If we are understanding the meaning in this way, then the correct sense of the term upkar will come into our awareness. Oh, brother, for us, all related living beings are sentient external possessions. Chetan Parigrah and body and the like are insentient external possessions. A Chetan Parigrah. In Jain philosophy, identification, ekatva, possessiveness, mamatva, and attachment, aversion, rag, dvesh, towards such possession like entities are declared to be worthy of abandonment. The conclusion of the above discussion is this. In this context of upkars, the word upkar does not mean doing good, but merely being an instrumental cause, that is nimit. Here a question may arise: should we then render service to others or not? Oh, brother, the purpose here is solely to impart knowledge of the instrumental, consequential, nimic relationship, not to prescribe acts of doing or making others do. To understand whatever is stated from the standpoint in which it is stated, that alone is wisdom. When, from the standpoint of Nishchay, no one can do anything for anyone else at all, then the question should we do something for others or not, does not even arise. Although, from the standpoint of Nishchay, this statement is supremely true. Nevertheless, even among enlightened religious persons, the disposition to benefit others does not arise. It is for this reason that, from conventional standpoint, Vyavhar, instruction is given not to harm others and to do good.
Hmm. So only one word, upkar, which was referred to as an instrumental cause that was misinterpreted as helping, benefiting each other. But logically, it has been proved that this upkar word has also been used for sorrow also and for harm also. So how can harming others could be an act of beneficence, right? So it is very logical that we should understand this word as only instrumental cause and not as an assistance. Okay, so the clarification is given much, but people do not go very deep into these kind of things, and then they interpret it whatever they feel like. So we should understand it in the right sense. Okay. Now, this was 21. So from 21 to 29. So that will be page number 225. So there, now we are at 217. Okay. So move to 225 according to Hindi. Yes.
Parasparogra Jivanam, this is very popular. In
Very
fact, we
popular.
consider this as one of the 5 basic diktats of Jainism.
Jainism.
इतना बड़ा मानते हैं इसको.
हाँ, but misinterpret हो गया ना.
True.
See, आज किसी को like nobody is now interested to know the truth. Everyone wants to run their own organization by whatever means. Even now in our religious organizations, people call celebrities people, politicians and all, just to impress, that you join my group, you join my group, you join my group. So the purpose here now is to grow big, to get more funds, to spend, to organize great events, and not uh, in our samaj, but elsewhere, people call singers as celebrities, and in their religious functions, like in Sadhguru's Isha Foundation. I think it's in the south. So there they every time they celebrate this Shivratri or something like that. And in that event, they call very famous singers, and they all uh, belt out Bollywood numbers and all, and they feel they are doing religion. So it's happening everywhere. And to some extent, in some of our Jain groups also, this is happening. But that is we are now into deteriorating time. So things are going to deteriorate. We have only our life to see that we don't get into those traps. We understand as the truth is, and manifest happiness and enjoy our life. Okay, that should be our purpose, because this kind of diversities and diversions will happen. People will deviate from the right path often. That would be the majority, and very few people will be able to stick to this right path and understand it in the right way, and then of course putting it into practice and manifest. That is also very, very rare going to happen. But nevertheless, we have found a group of people who are interested in understanding the truth, and that's why we are doing it. Okay, so no matter this, we move on to the aphorism number 29, page number 225. This is 217. Go. 8 pages. 18. 19. 21. 22. 23. 24. Yes. Characteristics of substance. Okay. So we have 21 as 29, 30, 31, 32. Continues 4 aphorisms. And after 32, we will move on to 38, then 40, and then 40. Sorry, then 41, 42. Okay. So 29. Sat dravya lakshanam. And the 30th one is utpadve dravyam yuktam sat. So the characteristics of the substance is sat. Sat means existence. If a substance is present, if a substance has to be identified, it has to be present. Okay. So existence is the characteristics of the substance, and what is the characteristics of that existence is utpad vyay dravya. Utpad means origination, vyay means destructions, and dravya means permanence. Okay. So any object identified by these three qualities, which is simultaneously existing as permanent and also transforming every moment, utpad vyay, that is the structure of a substance. Okay. So these two aphorisms explains this, and Jia, you read this. Pratibhaji is left over. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, read.
In the earlier discussion, let me start here. The characteristics of substance. In the earlier discussion, the substance such as dharma, medium of motion, and others have been explained. Therefore, a natural question arises: what, after all, is substance? What is the characteristics of substance? What is called substance? The answer to the question is given in the following aphorism. That which is sat, real, is substance. Dravya, the characteristics of substance is sat. That which is endowed with origination, uktad, cessation, vyavya, and permanence, dravya, is sat. The purport is that existence, sat, endowed with origination, utpad, cessation, vya, and the permanence, dravya, is the characteristics
Dravya.
of
It
substance.
is dravya, not dravya. Dravya.
Dravya. Thank you. Dravya is the characteristics, lakshan of substance. Dravya. Thus, dravya is the definendum, lakshya, and existence endowed with origination, cessation, and permanence is the defining characteristics of dravya. Thank you, Hemali. The acquisition of new state without abandoning one's own intrinsic nature, jati, is origination, utpad. The relinquishment of previous state is cessation, and the continuous persistence of the beginningless inherent nature in the form of continuity is permanence. Coal is burnt and becomes ash. In this, the coal forms mode has ceased. The ash form mode has originated. And in both these states, coal and ash, the same matter substance has remained identical and continuous. This is the permanence of substance, invariability, and is dravya.
Dravya.
Dravya. Thank you. Never changing, even while changing at every moment, and changing at every moment, even while never changing. This is the fundamental nature of every substance. Never changing is the substance nature of every entity, and changing at every moment is its mode nature. In the language of the viewpoint, this can also be stated thus: every entity from the substantial viewpoint never changes, while from the modal viewpoint, it necessarily changes at every moment.
Stop.
Correct.
So you see, that which is real, it will not be real. You can put it as existence. That which is in existence is substance. Okay. The characteristics of substance is sat. Sat means existence. Okay. So that is the problem with Chat GPT, that sometimes they put some other word, then at times other word, but we will get the exact word going forward. Okay. That which is endowed with origination. Okay. Origination is okay, utpad. Cessation would be destruction, vyay. Okay. And permanence, dravya, is sat. Sat means existence. So whatever exists in this universe always undergoes through this constant origination, destruction of the modification, simultaneously remaining permanent as a substance. Okay. Never changing even while changing at every moment, and changing at every moment even while never changing. This is the fundamental nature of every substance. Okay. So every substance has one substance part which is not changing every moment, and another is modification part which is changing every moment. Okay. So this is the structure, and we have to accept this structure as it is. Okay. Now you see the purport. The purpose is that existence. Now they have put it in word existence, bracket sat. So everywhere the sat word appears, you have to write existence. The purport is that existence endowed with origination, cessation would be destruction, and permanence is the characteristics of substance. So whoever is a substance will always have this origination, destruction, and permanence all together at one moment. Thus, dravya is the definitum, lakshya, okay, target, aim, and existence endowed with origination, destruction, and permanence is the defining characteristics of the dravya. Okay. The acquisition of a new state without abandoning one's own intrinsic nature is origination. Okay. So the modification are originating every moment new modification is originating. The earlier one is getting extinct or destroyed, and the substance remains permanent. Okay. The relinquishment of a previous state is cessation, and the continuous persistence of the beginningless inherent nature, parinamic bhav, in the form of continuity, is permanence, dravya. Coal is burnt and becomes ash. In this, the coal form mode has ceased. The ash form has originated, and in both these states, coal and ash, the same matter substance, Pudgal Dravya, has remained identical and continuous. So that is called permanence. This is the permanence of substance, its invariability and its Dravya. Okay. So in every structure, substance, there is one variable portion, there is one invariable portion. Variable portion undergoes origination and destructions every moment, and invariable portion remains permanent throughout the existence. Okay. So this is the structure. Never changing even while changing at every moment, and changing at every moment even while never changing. This is the fundamental nature of every substance. Okay. Never changing is the substance nature of every entity, dravya swabhav, and changing at every moment is its more nature, paryay swabhav. In the language of the viewpoints, nai, this can also be stated thus: every entity from the substantial viewpoint, dravyarthik nai, that we just saw now, never changes, while from the model viewpoint, paryarthik nai, it necessarily changes at every moment. Okay, so these two are over. Now 31 and 32.
Sir, we
So,
did this in Krambat Paryay also, no?
yes, everywhere, this is applicable everywhere. This is the fundamental nature of each and every substance. Okay, this is the structure of every substance. So even 7 fundamentals will also come under this. Krambat Paryay will also come. So all are connected with this substance, attributes and modification. This is the basic structure. Okay. So all other principles are originating from this structure only. Okay.
So, sir, just to clarify, I know it's a very stupid question, but sir, this substance, which is Dravya, these are only living beings, right?
No, all the six substances. All the six substances have this structure. They undergo changes every moment, and while undergoing changes, they remain permanent also. Okay. So that is the structure across six substances. So here also you have to write existence. You did you change at one place, but other same line last word. Emali,
So, which one?
go slightly up. Yes, again. Yeah. So here you change the last word also is sat. There also you write
Yeah.
existence.
Okay. So, all the sats are existence, no?
Yeah. So here the characteristic of substance is sat. So you can put existence and in the bracket sat, let sat remains. Yeah. No, this sat is okay because here it is explaining and permanence is sat. Dravya.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sir.
So there also you can write existence, no problem. Both the places you can do it, no problem. Okay, so now we move on to number 31, characteristics of eternality. Nityata ka lakshan. What is the characteristics? How do we identify that something is eternal? Okay, so that will come under aphorism number 31. So, yeah, Amita ji again.
In the fourth aphorism of this chapter, substances were described as eternal, nitya, therefore the nature of that eternality is now clarified. Tad bhavya vyayam nityam. The existence sat of a substance, dravya, and the non-occurrence of its cessation, vyaya, absence, is itself eternity, nityata. Every substance remains continuously established while continuously changing, and continuously changes while continuously remaining established. Just as the jiva, while continuously coming into being through its sequence-governed transformations, karma, kram niyamit parinamo, does not become a jiv, and a jiv will, while continuously coming into being through its sequence-governed transformation, does not become jiv. In the same way, every substance, while arising through its sequence-governed transformation, never becomes another substance and is never destroyed at its root. This itself is its eternality. When we see a 25-year-old young man and say, "Oh, Suresh, you have grown so much, you have changed so much. When you were 5 years old, I saw you completely unclothed." By this statement, it becomes very clear that the 5-year-old child has completely changed. Yet, there is something in him by virtue of which you recognized him. The purport is that even after much change, there remains something that has not changed. This very cognition is called recognition, pratyabhigaya. Understand this clearly. The cause of this recognition-based knowledge is what is called eternality, nityata.
So we already studied a substance remaining continuously established while continuously changing and continuously changes while continuously remaining established. That was we discussed in the last aphorism only, but we discussed it as a commentary. Now this has come as an aphorism. Okay. So the last part is what I want to highlight. We just now studied under the sensory knowledge, all these, today also I repeated, pratyabhigyan, recognition, it is also called connecting knowledge. Okay. So when we see a 25-year-old man and say, oh Suresh, you have grown so much, you have changed so much. When you were 5 old, I saw you playing unclothed. Okay. So the person is same. So now you have something you are looking at directly, and then you have some memory. Okay. To connect that past memory and the present uh, direct knowledge, that is called connecting knowledge. Okay. So present knowledge plus memory is connecting knowledge. By this statement, it becomes very clear that the 5-year-old child has completely changed, yet there is something in him by virtue of which you recognized him. The purport is that even after much change, there remains something that has not changed. This very cognition or knowledge is called recognition, pratyabhigyan, or connecting knowledge. Understanding this clearly, the cause of this recognition based knowledge is what is called eternality. Okay, eternality. So nityata. So based on this recognition, we can say that this thing is eternal. Okay, eternal. Now, arpita and anarpita. Arpita means primary and anarpita means secondary. So we will use these terms standard. This has been already used here, but at some place they have not corrected the word, so we will correct it. Okay. So arpita and anarpita. So in every viewpoint, we have one part as primary and all other parts are secondary. Okay. This is the general characteristics of every viewpoint. Okay. Viewpoint is such that it will highlight one portion and it will ignore all other portion. Okay. That is the general characteristics of viewpoint. So that has been applied here and explained here in this aphorism number 32. Jia.
Yes. Arpita and Anarpita, it is indeed an experientially established truth that every substance, dravya, even while undergoing change, parinam, does not change, and even without changing, it undergoes change. The establishment of this great truth depends upon the standpoint of primacy, mukhyata, and subordination, gaunata. This very point is stated in the following aphorism. Arpit Narpit Siddhe, that which is primary is called Arpit, and that which is secondary is called Anarpit. It is precisely with reference to this primacy and subordination that the coexistence of two properties which appear mutually contradictory within a single entity is established. Every substance is an indivisible aggregate of infinite attributes, gun, infinite pairs of property, dharma, yugal, that appear mutually contradictory. It is a repository of infinite nature and infinite power. Although these attributes, pairs of property, natures, and powers are entirely included within the very nature of the substance, are of the same form, and are completely non-different from it. Nevertheless, all these qualities, properties, natures, and power are also, in a certain respect, kathamchit, distinct from the substance. Although all these, from the standpoint of substance, Dravya Drashti, from the substance-oriented viewpoint, Dravyartik Nay are non-differentiated, abhed in the substance, indivisible, akhand, eternal, nitya, and one, ek, yet from the standpoint of mode, Paryay Drishti, from the mode-oriented viewpoint, Paryasik Nay, they are different, bhin bhin, divided, khand khand, non-eternal, anitya, and many, anik. And from the standpoint of valid knowledge, Praman, they are of the nature of both dif difference and non-difference, bhed, divided and undivided, khand, eternal and non-eternal, nitya, and one as well as many, ek, anek. Among these standpoints, apeksha, whichever standpoint we intend to understand and explain, is primary, mukhya, applied, arpita, and intended, vivakshita. The remaining standpoints remain secondary, gona, unapplied, anarpita, and unintended, avivakshita. The terms intended, vivakshita, applied, and primary are all synonyms. Similarly, avivakshita, anarpita, and secondary also have the same meaning. Thus, to the use of arpita and anarpita, the nature of the object, vastu swarup, is established. This is a method employed for understanding and for explaining. Just as a single person is a son with reference to his father and a father with reference to his son, thus he is both father and son at the same time. Similarly, the very same person is a nephew with reference to his maternal uncle and a maternal uncle with reference to his nephew. Thus, he is both maternal uncle and nephew at the same time. In this manner, he is simultaneously father, son, maternal uncle, and nephew. In the same way, from the substantial viewpoint, dravya arthiknay, every substance, dravya, is eternal. From the modal viewpoint, it is non-eternal. From the valid cognition, praman, it is both eternal and non-eternal. Thus, it is eternal and non-eternal, nitya nitya. In this manner, a substance is eternal, non-eternal, and non-eternal all at the same time. When standpoints nay are employed, the word only he is used to provide firmness. But when valid knowledge praman is employed, the word also bhi is used in order to accept the other side, apar praksh, in a secondary manner. For example, from the substantial viewpoint, dravyarthik nay, the substance is eternal indeed. From the modal viewpoint, paryarthik nay, the substance is non-eternal indeed. And from valid cognition, praman, it is both eternal and non-eternal. Eternal and non eternal and non-eternal, eternal and non-eternal. Thus, in this manner, the object vastu is expounded in the intended, applied, vivakshit, arpita, and unintended, unapplied, or vivakshit, unarpita forms. The nature of the object, vastu swarup, is understood, and the real nature of the object is thereby ascertained. The
Hmm.
one who's
Well,
the one
this is not part of our. Okay. So arpita and anarpita. Arpita means primary. Okay. And anarpita means secondary. So subordination word has been used. You can cut down and write secondary, as they have also used. Yeah, subordination, you write secondary. Then again in the next paragraph also that word comes, you write secondary. That which is primary is called arpita, that which is secondary is called anarpita. It is precisely with reference to this primacy and subordination. So subordination again would be secondary, but only that one. And that the coexistence of two properties. Okay. So now we have four words with us: attributes, properties, natures, and powers. Okay. Attributes is gun, properties is dharma, then natures is swabhav, and powers is shakti. Okay. All these four are synonymous at a gross level. But when you look at from the subtle point of view, it has got different meanings. Okay. A property, attribute is one which has got a modification. Okay. Like knowledge, perception, these have got modification. So these are called gun or attributes. Okay. The next is properties. So properties means dharm. So dharms are always in pair. They don't have modification. Okay. Like, one, many, general, specific, samanya, vishesh, फिर nitya, anitya. Nitya is eternal, anitya is non-eternal. And then we have one more, dravya, kshetra, kal, bhav. Okay. So dravya, kal is nitya, anitya. Dravya is samanya, vishesh. general, specific. And the last one, bhav. Bhav is ek, anek, one, many. Now, under Kshetra, it is bhed, abhed, bhed. Okay. So, abhed is non-differentiated and bhed is differentiated. Okay. So, all these four words, four pairs you have to write down. So, how is the substance? So, substance from the substance related viewpoint is general, non-differentiated, eternal, one. Okay. Dravya, Kshetra, Kal, Bhav. So you make 3 columns. Okay. First column you write Dravya, Kshetra, Kal, Bhav. Okay. Dravya, then next column. No, not there. Next line you would be Kshetra, that is space, Kal, that is time, and Bhav is mode. Okay. Now, from the substance related view, Dravya, from the Dravya viewpoint, it is general. General, from the modification point of view, it is specific. Specific. Yes. So you have to put the substance view as heading. So it will, all 4 will come one after another. So you put heading, above general you put substance viewpoint. Very expert in DTP. And another would be modification viewpoint, where you will write specific. Yes. So this is what we are going to learn in 7th sem, and we are reading it right now. So you will remember also when we do that again. Okay. Okay. Now, so from the substance viewpoint, it is, the substance is general. Okay. From Dravya point of view. From Kshetra point of view, it is non-differentiated and differentiated. Non-differentiated. Yes. Differentiated. From the Kal, it is eternal, non-eternal. Eternal, non-eternal. Yeah, eternal, non-eternal. And from the Bhav point of view, it is one and many. Okay, very good. Thank you, Emily. Now, 2 eyes. Okay. If you close one eye, if you close the modification viewpoint eye and only look the substance from the substance viewpoint, how it appears? General, non-differentiated, eternal, one. Now you close the substance viewpoint eye and open the modification viewpoint eye. How the substance look? Specific, differentiated, non-eternal, and many. Okay. So this is how this is explained. So this part is primary. The modification viewpoint part is secondary. And how is the overall substance put together? So overall, if you want to say how the overall substance looks from the valid knowledge, it is general, specific, non-differentiated, differentiated, then eternal, non-eternal, and one, many. Okay. So this is the valid knowledge. And then Substance viewpoint would be only this, and modification viewpoint will always be this. Okay. So a property are two opposite in nature. They exist in the same substance at the same time. For explaining this kind of properties, we have to use the viewpoints. Okay. One is substance related viewpoint, another one is a modification related viewpoint. Okay. So this is explained in this aphorism. You have to read it again once more. Now it will be more clear with the chart that Hemali has prepared. It is more clear. One example we will see. Um, just as a single person is a son with reference to his father, next page, and a father with reference to his son. Thus, he is both father and son at the same time. Similarly, the very same person is a nephew with reference to his maternal uncle and a material uncle with reference to his nephew. Thus, he is both maternal uncle and nephew at the same time. In this manner, he is simultaneously father, son, maternal uncle and nephew. In the same way, from the substantial viewpoint, Dravyarthik Nyay, every substance is eternal. From the model viewpoint, it is non-eternal. Okay, now you know. And from comprehensive valid knowledge, okay, cognition would be knowledge. Okay, cognition, you write down knowledge. Okay, from the valid knowledge, Praman, it is both eternal and non-eternal. Similarly, you can apply all the in all other aspects also. Now, straightway we will move on to 38. Today we have to complete this. So 38,
cognition
41, 42. Huh?
Instead of
Cognition would be knowledge.
No.
Cognition word you remove, we use knowledge everywhere. Although cognition also means the same, but we use standard words, so let's not get confused. So we will use knowledge. Okay. So now aphorism number 38, it is on page number 234. Gun paryayavad dravyam. A substance is that which possesses attributes and modes. Yeah, this one. Okay. So, Hemali, you only read.
Characteristic of substance. In this very chapter, in aphorism 2930, the characteristic of substance, dravya, has been stated. Now, the characteristic of the substance is clarified in another manner. Gun paryayavad dravyam. A substance is that which possesses attributes, gun, and modes, paryay. Those that remain present in all the spatial units, pradesh, of a substance and in all its modes, paryay, are called attributes, gun. For example, knowledge, gyan, is a quality of the Atma. It is found in all the innumerable spatial units of the soul and in all its modes from the state of nigodh up to liberation, moksha. Touch, taste, smell, and color or form are qualities of the Pudgal Dhavya. They are present in the spatial units and modes of Pudgal. The transformation of a substance or of its attributes is called a mode, paryay. At every moment, each attribute of each substance has one mode. Thus, in a substance, attributes exist simultaneously, whereas modes occur successively. For this very reason, attributes are called anvayi, pervading, and modes are called Vyatireki, distinct or successive. Question. In aphorism 2930, that which is endowed with utpad vyay and dravya was called substance. And here substance is being described as possessing attributes and modes. Answer. There is no real difference between these two definitions of substance because modes are of the nature of utpad, vyay, and qualities are of the nature of dravya. Therefore, whether substance is described as possessing qualities and modes or as sat, endowed with origination, cessation, and permanence, both express the same meaning.
So this is 38. A substance is that which possesses attributes and modes. What is dravya? Dravya is a substance that which possesses attributes and modes. So substance is nothing but a combination of attributes and modes. Okay. Those that remain present in all the spatial units, that is called pradesh, okay, of a substance, and all its modes are called attributes. द्रव्य के संपूर्ण भागों में और संपूर्ण अवस्थाओं में जो विद्यमान रहते हैं उसे कहते हैं गुण. Okay, so गुण is that which remains in all the present in all the spatial units of a substance, and all its modes are called attributes. For example, knowledge is a quality of the Atma, is an attribute of the soul. It is found in all the innumerable spatial units of the soul. Okay, so there are innumerable asankhyat pradeshi Atma. Okay, and in all its mode, from the state of nigod up to liberation. Okay, knowledge is found. Never a soul is without knowledge. Okay, so in whatever state it exists, knowledge will remain there. In whatever units, spatial units you see, the knowledge will always be there. It is not like that knowledge is here, perception is at the leg, and say energy is here. No, it's not like that. It is all together at one place. Okay, you touch any of the spatial units, all the attributes will be there. Okay, touch, taste, smell. So this was the example for the soul. Now they have given an example for Pudgal. So what are the characteristics of Pudgal? Touch, taste, smell and color are qualities of the Pudgal Dravya. They are present in the spatial units and modes of Pudgal. The transformation of a substance or its attribute is called a mode. At every moment, each attribute of each substance has one mode. Okay, so how many attributes are there in a substance? Infinite. So every moment what we are experiencing now is the modification of infinite attributes coming as an experience as one. Okay, but if you see in a subtle way, different attributes are transforming every moment. All the attributes are transforming every moment, and what we experience is sum total of all that. Thus, in substance, attributes exist simultaneously. Okay, whereas modes occur successively. Successively means one at a time. For this reason, attributes are called anvayi, pervading, and modes are called vyatireki, distinct or successive. So modifications are vyatireki and the attributes are anvayi. In aphorism number 2930, that which is endowed with utpad, vyay and dravya was called substance, and here substance is be described as possessing attributes and modes. So both are same thing. Utpad vyay means modes and dravya means attributes. Okay, so this same. Now 41 and 42. In the 38th aphorism, dravya was described as possessing attributes and modes. Therefore, the nature of attributes and modes is now clarified. Attributes that reside in a substance. Dravya Shreya Nirguna Guna. So attributes resides in a substance and are themselves without attributes. So attributes that reside in a substance are themselves without attribute. That means in one attribute, another attribute cannot exist. Okay, that is what they mean. The purport is that one attribute does not reside in another attribute. The existence of substance or of attributes, that is, they are changing every moment, is modification. Okay, so this is the aphorism number 42. the existence of a substance or of attributes, that is, they are changing at every moment, is modification. Between substance and its attribute, there is a relation of substratum, Adhar Ade Sambandh, and that which rests upon it. Substance is the substratum, Adhar, and attributes are those which rests upon it, Ade. Just as oil pervades in all the parts of a sesame seeds, so too attributes pervade all the spatial units and all the modes of a substance. Just as attributes are found in a substance, in the same way one attribute does not contain another attribute. Therefore, here attributes are said to be without attributes. Qualities of attributes are of two types, general and specific. Okay. So general attributes are those which are present in all the substances. Okay. And specific attributes are those which is present in that particular substance and not in any other substance. Like knowledge. Knowledge is specific attribute of soul only. It is not available in any of the other 5 substances. Similarly, touch, taste, smell are an attributes of the matter substance only. It is not available in any other substance. Okay. So that is called a specific attribute. Similarly, for medium of motion, the attribute is specific attribute is gati hetutva, and adharm dravya it is sthiti hetutva, akash dravya avgana hetutva. Okay, and kal dravya it is parinaman hetutva. Okay, that we will see here. So first we will see general attributes and then specific attributes. Okay, Soumya, you read and finish.
Yes, sir. Qualities are of two kinds. First, Samanya Gun, general attributes. Second, Vishesh Gun, specific attributes. First, general attributes. Those attributes which are found equally in all substances are called general attributes. For example, existence, astitva, thinghood, vastutva, substanceness, dravyatva, knowledgeability, prameyatva, non-increase and non-decrease, aguru laghutva, and spatiality, pradeshatva are found in all substances. Therefore, these are general qualities. Second, specific attributes. Those qualities which indicate the distinctiveness of a particular substance and are found only in that substance are its specific qualities. For example, sentience, chetanatva, is the specific quality of the Jiva Dravya. Formness is the specific quality of the Pudgal Dravya. Being the cause of motion is the specific quality of the Dharma Dravya. Being the cause of rest following motion is the specific quality of the Adharma Dravya. Being the cause of accommodation, Avgahana, is the specific quality of the Akash Dravya, and being the cause of transformation, Parinaman, is the specific quality of the Kal Dravya. The question is this: here residing in the substratum, ashray of substance and being devoid of other attributes has been stated as the nature of attributes. But modes, paryaya, also reside in the substratum of substance and no attributes reside in them. Thus they too would be without attributes. In such a situation, no difference would remain between attributes and modes. Answer. Attributes abide eternally in the support of substance, whereas modes are non-eternal, not eternal, they are impermanent. Attributes are non-successive, whereas modes are successive. Therefore, modes are distinct from attributes. Hence, the above definition of attribute does not apply to modes. Therefore, there is no flaw in the stated doctrine. Thus, the 5th chapter is concluded here.
So you see that these names, I'll give you better names. For astitva is existence is okay. Vastutva is functionality, I think functionality, prayojan bhut. Then substanceness is okay. Knowability is also okay. Non-increase and non-aguru lagutva. Constancy of individuality. I think that's the name. Okay, constancy of individuality, that is agur lagutu, and spatiality, pradeshwata, this is also okay, are found in all the substances, that is the general attributes. So wherever the word qualities is mentioned, we should write attributes. In the beginning, they have said that qualities are of two kinds. So that quality would be attributes. One is general attribute, another is specific attributes. So everywhere guna is always used as attributes and not quality. So ChatGPT have used somewhere they have changed to attributes and somewhere they have not changed. So come to the next page. So here, first line it is not changed. Second line it is changed. Again, in the explanation, they at places they have put it as quality, but it should be always uniform attributes, specific attributes. So again here, in the specific attribute, second line it shows quality. First line also it is quality. So we have to change it to attributes. Not very major thing, but you can do it later on. The question here, I'm just concluding this. The question is here, residing in the substratum of substance and being devoid of other attributes has been stated as the nature of attributes. But modes also reside in the substratum of substance and no attributes resides in them. Thus, they too would be without attributes. In such a situation, no difference would remain between attributes and modes. So there is the answer. Attributes abide eternally in the substode of substance. So attributes are eternal and modes are momentary. Okay. Whereas modes are not eternal. They are impermanent. Attributes are non-successive, whereas modes are successive. That means one at a time. But all the attributes are together at the same time. Therefore, modes are distinct from attributes. This difference we have to understand. Hence, the above definition of attributes does not apply to modes. Therefore, there is no flaw in the stated doctrine. So this is all we have in terms of chapter number 5. We have 8 aphorisms and we have done all of these. Now, the next week we will start chapter number 6. Okay. And in chapter number 6, I will be giving you the homework for CEC2. Okay. What are the causes of bondage of different types of karma? That's a very important topic, because we never know what manifestations we are doing and what it is causing, what kind of bondage it is causing. Okay. So when we know this, at least we can have some awareness being created so that we don't indulge in such kind of passions. Okay. Because we will bind such karmas, and when the fruition will come, we will suffer. So, so CC2 will be from there, and GM and Viva. So Viva I am planning to give independent, individually I will ask questions to you. Overall, what you have read over a period of 2.5 years, I will try to connect what would be purposeful for us. And in under Mulyankan, I can give you topics from Moksh Marg Prakashak. Okay. So Moksh Marg Prakashak, I will give you topics for Gandhar Mulyankan, and for Viva, I will ask one-to-one live general questions. It will not be very much technical questions, but it will be general questions where I will try to see what you have understood so far in 2.5 terms. Okay. So that Viva will be planning after we do GM. So GM I am releasing today itself. Okay. So you can start doing GM, and for Viva we will do it after CC2. Okay. So so by the time you do GM, CC2 we will be finishing in the next class, not in the next class, but in the next 2 class. 6th chapter would be finished. So after 15 days, I will give you CC2. Okay. So in meantime, you can complete GM. So those topics would be for Moksh Marg Prakashak, chapter 6 and chapter 8. And that would be student specific, one question to each student. I'll give you the page numbers also from English textbook. So it will be easy for you to prepare. Okay. Okay. Any other questions for today? Okay. निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है, उसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना सत बार है। 9 times नमोकार मंत्र। बोलो द्वात संगमयी जिनवा